Alright, in this video, I'll be installing Arch Linux using the official Arch install script that's on the ISO. Now, back in the day, you had to tinker quite a bit to install Arch, or basically you had to do a lot of these steps manually by following the installation guide. But the Arch install script that they now provide with the ISO makes all of this a lot easier. Now, I have done this several years ago in the past. I actually ran Arch as my daily driver for a bit. But I haven't done the manual install in ages because the Arch install script is so good. So let's get to that. I've already prepared a VM to do this on. Let's begin. Now this is what it looks like. This is the grub menu on the Arch Linux official installation media. We're going to pick the first option here. And it just puts you straight into the shell. It doesn't actually tell you about Arch install, I don't think. Like, they still want you to use the installation guide. But they do provide Arch install as an option. So just type that in. And then you get this kind of menu, which is pretty similar to Debian's installer, although it's a bit more manual than that. So we're going to configure our keyboard layout here. I'm in Norway, so I'm going to do Norwegian. I'm okay with US locale, though. Don't really care about that. I'm going to select my mirrors. I think we'll just do Sweden and Norway in my case. You want to select your own country and then maybe a few neighboring countries to get some fast mirrors going. Let's go back. Slovakia, I didn't select that, did I? Maybe I did. Let's not do that. There we go. Norway, Sweden, that's fine by me. Now we're going to configure the partitions. You can do it manually, or you can use a best effort default. Let's see what it does by default here. We're selecting our one disk. We can choose BetterFS, ext4, XFS, and F2FS. Now, BetterFS gives you a lot of options in terms of snapshots and backups, and being able to revert to a previous copy. For this virtual machine, I'm just going to go with XFS, or X4 rather, because it's the simplest and most performant. I don't really care about a separate home partition when I'm doing this in a VM, but you could go with that. And this looks fine to me. Notice that there's no swap partition. I think it uses a swap file by default, which is also fine. There's really no need to create a separate partition for swap anymore. You can also set up disk encryption here if you want. I'm not going to, though. Yeah, swap on ZRAM enabled. That's fine. Bootloader will be grub. I really like grub. I just always use that for my bootloader. Hostname, Arch, YouTube. There we go. Authentication. So we could set up a root password, but I think I just want to go with a user account instead. We'll add our user here, Carcass, type in our password, and this is important. You gotta make your only user a super user, so you can actually perform administrator actions without having a root account. There we go. Confirm and exit. What is this profile? Right, so you can actually choose a desktop environment and stuff here. I'm gonna go with a minimal install for this one. And go from there. Applications, audio. I guess we'll set up Pipewire. Just so we have audio. I don't want Bluetooth though. And for the kernels, usually it's a good idea to have the LTS kernel as well, but just go with the default for the default. Like in case Arch is really bleeding edge, so sometimes the kernel will break or have some issues. It's nice to have the option to just boot into the LTS kernel at that point. Although it's really rare. Arch is actually a lot more stable than you'd think. The main way that people break their Arch installs is installing too many packages from the AUR, which I do not recommend. I don't actually recommend using the AUR at all. These days, I think you're better off just using FlatHub and DistroBox to get packages that you don't have in your official repos. Network configuration, I'm just going to do Network Manager because it's super comfy and automatic. Do I need additional packages? I can always install them afterwards, so I don't want to do that now. For my time zone, I'm in Europe, Oslo. There we go. Time sync is enabled by default. Yeah. Alright. We could save that configuration. It's a good idea if you want to deploy the same installation to multiple computers. You can just basically save and install scripts with all of these settings. I'm not going to do that here though. We're just going to hit install. And this is basically what it would save if you were to save it. Let's continue. Now it's formatting the drive. And starting the installation. This should be fairly quick. Especially for a minimal install. There's not that much to do. We're getting a few warnings here, but they're not really important. Alright, now let's just reboot. And we are now booted into our installed system. Let me log in with Carcass here. And sudo pacman syu to make sure we're up to date. We are. Now we can install fastfetch, htop. I believe less is not even installed by default in the minimal. Alright, fastfetch. Right, clear and fastfetch. There we go. We have a minimal Arch installation. Only 264 packages are installed. That's pretty neat. From here you can install whatever you like. Now look at how lean the system is. 164 megs of memory. Basically the only bloat we have is systemd and network manager. Almost nothing running on the system at all. Now, if you wanted to boot into a desktop environment, you could have selected that during the installation process. But I could also show you how to get KDE up and running from this point. Let's try that. I believe we need Plasma Desktop and STDM. Those should be the only packages we need, or package groups. I'm going to go with FFmpeg for this. Now this is a significant amount of packages. It's going to more than double the size of the install. But as far as KDE installs go, it's pretty minimal, I think. Now we also need to enable STDM, I believe. And then we should be good to just reboot. I think that's literally all you need to do for a basic KDE. Yep. Now this doesn't have every part of KDE, but it does have just the bare minimum. We can display and monitor nightlight. Wait, do we not even have? Okay, we should probably install a few more packages to get KDE more functional. It doesn't look like we can even adjust the resolution here, which is hilarious. Alright, let me drop down to TTY. Wait, there we go. Because I kind of need a browser and a terminal at least. Console, Firefox. Let's start with that. And then I'm gonna do a search in Pacman for Plasma. Less. So we can check this out. Actually, let's do SSQ. We don't need the full description. I just want to see the package names. Trying to figure out which package or meta package to install to get the full Plasma functionality. I don't remember. Well, we do have a browser now, so let's go back to our first terminal. Let's do Firefox and just go to the Arch wiki. Go to archlinux.org, the wiki, and then search for KDE. So this will tell us what we need to know. Plasma Meta, or Plasma Group. I believe I just installed Plasma Desktop, and that's the minimal install. Yeah. Good to know. So let's drop back out to TTY. Pacman S Plasma Meta. That should give us some more functionality here. And I think I'll reboot after this, because that's going to change a bunch of stuff. Why is it still showing this up here? There we go. Will it let me change my display now? Yep, there we go. That's much better. We can change this to 1080p. And we should have most of the settings available to us at this point. Appearance. Global theme, breeze dark. Perfect. Now it doesn't matter on a VM, but mouse acceleration should be turned off. Right here. But as you can see, it's running since I'm on a VM, it's basically a tablet. An emulated tablet. Using my host's mouse. Oh, and I believe Flatpak functionality is pretty easy to set up in Arch as well. It's one less step than on Debian, as far as I know. Let's Pacman S Flatpak. Let me make this larger. Flatpak KCM is the one we need. Alright, Pacman, sudo Pacman S Flatpak, flat seal, Flatpak KCM. Wait, is there no flat seal? Maybe flat seal isn't in the official Arch repos. That's weird. Maybe it's just included in the Flatpak package. I could search for it. I'm not sure why it's doing all of this just from installing these packages. Oh, it grabbed OS tree as well. Interesting. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a flat seal. Pacman, QI, Flatpak. So there's no optional dependencies, but it's required by KCM, which we did. Do we have Discover, though? QI Discover. We do have Discover, that's good. So FlatHub should just work now. Discover is right here. Let's do the test. OBS. Install from FlatHub. See, that was super easy on Arch. We now have access to all the software without using the AUR. And there you have it. Even with KDE installed, like a fully functioning KDE, this is only 710 packages. Let me have a look at HTOP as well. It's using 1 gig of memory to run KDE. Not bad at all. I love Arch. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. If you like it, please leave a like on the like button below. Let me know what other kinds of Linux videos you want me to do in the future. I might actually do one where I go through the manual Arch install process. I haven't done that in years, so that could be interesting. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Bye for now.